Up next on your news at noon, soon the House will vote again, and they're predicted to pass the $1.5 trillion tax bill, resulting in the first major victory for the president. Plus, grab the shovel and a few extra layers. We'll get the latest on the snow falling right now in the valley and a blast of cold weather that's right behind it. Stay with us. Valley News Live at noon is coming up next.
Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at noon.
The snow is here, and it sounds like it will be an all-day event. Take a look at that live look outside our Valley News Live studios in South Fargo. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Lisa Bedeau. We're expecting at least a few inches of snow today, and already the roads are getting a little tricky out there. Take a look at these pictures. The semi slid off the road off of Highway 46, about a mile west of Kindred. I noticed roads were a little slick in the Fargo-Moorhead area as well. So let's check in right away with meteorologist Lisa Green to get a check of the storm track this afternoon.
Yeah, definitely want to be careful as you're traveling out there today. Even that light coating of snow making a big difference, as we just saw some slick spots out there this afternoon. Now, you can see there are two areas of snow. One that's kind of fizzling out in the Southern Valley where it's not as widespread, and we've seen the other one in the Northern Valley and in eastern North Dakota intensify a little bit. So first of all, we'll zoom in on the Southern Valley. Still getting some light snow over the Fargo-Moorhead area right now, but you can see it's more scattered, stretching down I-94 toward Fergus Falls and into the Otter Tail County area. And then the heavier area snow, the darker blue there showing up on the radar just south and along Highway 2 between Devil's Lake and Grand Forks. And this is moving east, kind of northeast as well. So traveling along Highway 2, looking to be a little bit more like you're going to see some heavier snow in that region. This also stretches down to Griggs and Steele counties. Visibility reports are ranging anywhere from 1 mile to 2 to 3 miles in areas where we're getting light snow, so lower visibility. The wind at least isn't too strong, but there are some areas where we're seeing some gusts that are getting into the 20s. Your current temperatures a lot colder up north. In the Roseau area, we're at 1 degree. In the south, we're looking at some teens right now. So with a little bit of wind, it's feeling pretty chilly. Bundle up and make sure, of course, you're ready for some wintry conditions if you need to hit the road today. We'll have more in your travel forecast for this holiday week coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Lisa. Developing this afternoon, a tweak to the tax reform bill means the House has to vote on the plan again, just one day after passing the massive legislation. Mullet Lengi has the details from Capitol Hill.
In a vote that is more formality than question mark, the House is once again prepared to pass a $1.5 trillion tax bill.
The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is passed.
The revote was necessary because the bill was tweaked slightly before the Senate passed it late last night along party lines. Analysts say there will be cuts across every income tax bracket. On average, taxpayers will see a savings of $1,600.
When you double the per-child tax credit, when you double the standard deduction, and you lower tax rates across the board for every income group, that's real relief for families, for individuals.
Democrats oppose the bill because they say the majority of tax relief goes to corporations and the very wealthy.
The majority stood in the chamber and passed its partisan bill to provide tax cuts for millionaires, billionaires, and one president.
And the Democratic message appears to be having an impact, with CBS News polls showing most Americans say the plan will help corporations and only about a quarter saying it will help themselves. Republicans say that will soon change.
If we can't sell this to the American people, we ought to go into another line of work.
But for now, selling the merits of the bill will take a back seat to celebrating its passage. Republicans plan to gather with President Trump at the White House this afternoon. Mo Lulengi, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The White House has not yet announced when President Trump will sign the bill into law. Also developing, the first Republican candidate has announced a bid for Democratic Senator Al Franken's seat in 2018. State Senator Karen Housley launched her campaign yesterday. Governor Mark Dayton's pick to hold the seat until that special election, Lieutenant Governor Tina Smith, is also expected to run. The winner of next year's special election will serve out the rest of Franken's term, which runs through 2020. New at noon, a former Beulah police officer accused of sexual contact with a teenage girl wants evidence thrown out from an interview with State Bureau of Criminal Investigation agents. 36-year-old Dustin Pecos is scheduled for trial in January on a charge of felony sexual assault. He was fired from the police force in mid-September. The Bismarck Tribune reports that Pecos testified during a motion hearing Monday that he thought he would have been fired if he didn't cooperate with BCI agents. The state countered that Pecos was told that he didn't have to talk to investigators, and Pecos said he understood his rights. Special Prosecutor Ladd Erickson agreed to toss evidence from a phone call Pecos made to his wife from jail and statements after he asked for an attorney. Also new at noon, a Breckenridge, Minnesota man convicted of attempted murder gets 20 years in prison. A judge today sentenced Jan Michael Wangstead following his conviction earlier this month. He's already in prison after pleading guilty to other charges stemming from the incident in West Fargo in March of last year. All of this stems from an incident at a West Fargo motel that resulted in a standoff. That's when Wangstead pulled a gun and shot at police officers. A Grinch is apparently trying to ruin Christmas for people in the Hawley area. The Clay County Sheriff's Office has taken several reports this week of people stealing mail. The vehicle involved is described as a small black car with tinted windows, North Dakota license plates, and no hubcaps. Deputies say 2 men were seen in the car going through mailboxes in the rural Hawley area. A Clay County inmate is accused of sexual assault while he was out on work release. Alexander Cookson of Hawley is in custody for a number of charges, including malicious punishment of a child. The Clay County attorney says they had urged the judge not to grant Cookson work release, but the judge says he didn't have all of the information to consider Cookson a threat to the public. Some shoppers are saying the holiday spirit is out of stock at the Target in Fergus Falls. Check out these pictures. They're from inside the store. People called our whistleblower hotline upset after they say the store pulled its toys off the shelves and sent them to other locations just days before Christmas. We reached out to Target, and they say they are replenishing inventory at the Fergus Falls store right now and apologize for any inconvenience. The Bison are headed back to Frisco to play for the national championship, and Valley News Live will once again be right there with them. We'll have our full team coverage from our Valley News Live sports team and the whole Bison football pregame crew. That will lead us up to game day on January 6th, when the Farmers Union Insurance Bison football pregame show starts at 9:30 a.m. and goes all the way up to the 11 a.m. kickoff between NDSU and James Madison. The holiday season brings families together, a perfect time to talk about important issues affecting your aging loved ones. Ahead here at noon, we'll get some expert advice on how to start what can be an uncomfortable conversation about end-of-life care. But first, we have some big changes in the weather department. Look at that. We're getting snow already, and a cold blast of air is coming right after this. We'll get all the details with Lisa Green.